Do you love to bake? Have you ever thought of having your own bakery? Are your friends telling you that your cookies are so good that you should open up your own shop? Well, I've got my good friend, Chef Brenda, who trained in the kitchens at Le Bernardin in New York, now has her own remarkable pastry chef kitchen here in the Tampa area to share the insights of what it takes to actually have a business that is thriving in this industry. So let's get sauced and uncensored. Okie dokie, well, welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your cake making day, Miss Chef Brenda, to hang out with me. As we arrive at Sauced and Uncensored, we always have to start with getting a little sauce. So here we go with a little bit of your tequila for your day.
Great way to start my Monday.
That's how we do it. And we can only shoot on Mondays because in the hospitality world, it's just the only day everybody's
Off.
Off. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's actually pretty good.
Good. With Chef Nelly was like, he was like, give me a nice Reposado. I'm like, okay, check. So crushing it here with, we've gotten out of your, well, no, we still have Mother's Day coming up.
We do. And our 7-year anniversary.
Nice.
So
you're bringing back Barbie for that?
No, absolutely not. But today you'll be using Barbie colors.
Oh, fantastic. Today's going to be my live interview for my new position as cake decorator, senior cake decorator. But where did the journey begin? I know your mom is like super guru of flower art. Is that the term for
Sugar
it?
flowers.
Sugar flower art. Traveling like the world.
Yeah.
That's just incredible. So is that where you started too? Were you doing that stuff at home, or was it more, where did that?
So I think my journey really started when I was even smaller. So my family has all types of something to do with food. My grandma used to have, I'm from Peru, so over there it's very common for families to have like their little hole in the walls who serve like lunch, breakfast, like dinner, and food. That's like a big thing. Food is very, very big in Peru. And my grandma used to have a little hole in the wall right next to her house where she would sell tamales, all types of Peruvian desserts.
Nice.
So, and she became like the known for that. My mom used to help her out doing that, but my mom had like behind the desk job, like everything that I don't like to do. And then I just remember being sat there by my aunt, by my mom, everyone, taking care of me. And I'm just there seeing customers come in, enjoy their coffee, tamales, different things. So that's where it started. And then here, my mom started going to culinary school after she decided she did not want to be behind a desk anymore. And she really took off with it. She started... How
old were you when you moved over?
I was 5.
Okay.
I was 5 years old. And then I think my mom started doing culinary school maybe around when I was like 10, if around there, maybe. A little bit younger. And my mom took off, like I said, and she started working for a very well-known bakery here in Tampa back in the days.
Oh, wow.
Chef Michael.
So you guys came to Tampa first?
Yeah,
cool.
we were in Tampa first. But Let Them Eat Cake was the first cake shop that my mom, with Chef Michael, that my mom started work at. And she started taking me there. And I started working, doing sugar figures, doing this. Then my mom started specializing in sugar flowers, which then evolved to her doing like the molds and cutters. And then I stayed at Let Them Eat Cake until I left for culinary school. And I was going on weekends, doing cakes, all the sugar work and stuff like that. But I actually got into school for architecture engineering. I
did not know that part.
That was the career move where,
So how long was that? How long did you pursue that?
Oh, I didn't even pursue it. I did like an internship program while I was still in high school. And I remember I told my mom, I was like, I don't like sitting. And also I would have to work with an architect and someone else on my team, and the building wouldn't have my name. So I wanted my name.
Nice.
So then I chose the path. Then my school offered culinary program, which I don't really think they do that anymore, but I went to Steinbrenner High School and they had culinary program, and they just were pushing me my last senior year. We started doing ProStart, which was like the competition that there was. That's how I got a scholarship to CIA. And it just kind of snowballed with everything.
I think we have a lot of more culinary programs. So when I was in Tarpon, that was the infancy of it. there, and then they evolved, like they took over the elementary school,
Right.
and then their whole cafeteria became like the culinary program.
That's how my school was.
So
And
cool.
It opened so many opportunities for the kids that were there. My chefs were very like, they saw that I was interested, so they
Cool.
were very much investing in me.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure once you see somebody, it's like, okay, they're dialed into it. So like the difference of mine was just like, I can do this class and eat all day.
That was all the kids.
That's pretty much like, okay, sold. He's just like, you're not making. I remember the whole conversation when it was we had like scrambled eggs week, making the best, all yellow and
Has to be
omelet,
gooey.
blah 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 blah. I'm like, crack the egg in the pan. He's like, that's not right. I was like, I'm just hungry, dude. Like,
This
let's
works.
just give me the grade. I don't care. I want to eat. And now when my daughter's doing it, she's just like, Daddy, we got to keep mixing. I told her the story. I was like, we got to make it all yellow, babe. And she's just like, got it. Check.
That's so cute.
Following directions. That's her specialty right now. She can make eggs.
Really good ones. Better than you.
I mean, I like a ton of stuff in it. To where like I'm just like, what leftovers do we have to get rid of?
And put it in.
Throwing it in. Where she's like, salt. That's it.
She's perfecting the
She's
French
perfecting the
omelet.
craft.
Yeah.
She's 8. She's got some time.
She's got some time.
But her omelet, she's doing amazing. All by herself. Turns on everything. Gets all her stuff.
That's
I don't have to
actually
really-
in our practicals in culinary school. If you don't know how to make an omelet, you're not passing.
I would imagine
Do you know
so.
how many people don't pass on making a proper omelet?
So that's the thing, because you can like making an omelet. Any idiot can just put it in, flip it, and then theoretically is done. But the properness is
Does it crack smooth, no color? Yeah.
Yes.
No, I still can't perfect it, but I did for my practical, so that's all that matters.
I just I'm like whatever. Everything's getting a little bit done here. Flip it over. I got so much crap in it. It doesn't make a difference. But so from there, so Tampa, where was the CIA? I forgot where those campuses are.
So I went to the Hyde Park campus.
I didn't realize
It's in
that.
Poughkeepsie.
Oh, I was
I
like
w-
Hyde Park here. I'm like, I don't think we have one in Hyde Park
no.
Village. Like I didn't know that existed.
Sorry, Hyde Park, New York. It's in Poughkeepsie. I always used to say upstate.
Before I came down, I lived in Poughkeepsie as a
really?
young child. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I can't imagine what life would have been like
As a
had I stayed in
teenage
Poughkeepsie.
kid?
I moved down when I was 8. Like, how different would my world have been? And I guess we're gonna
Poughkeepsie.
shit on Poughkeepsie a little bit because, like,
Okay, to
I
be
don't
fair,
know.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, there's
And
nothing to do in Poughkeepsie.
Normally, the CIA kids, no one was really from New York, so we had a lot of international students, or me, that I'm coming from Florida,
Yeah.
which, by the way, I moved when there was a first snowstorm, and my skin had never seen anything below
50, 45, maybe.
45 degrees, so I just cracked. Your skin can crack. That's a
Oh
thing.
yeah,
I
yeah.
did
Your
not know
lips
that.
and everything. You're just
Yeah.
like, wow, I really need chapstick here. This
Yeah.
is
So
intense.
no one had a car at all.
Oh my gosh, now you're stuck.
So now we're stuck, and Uber wasn't a thing.
No.
I think when I was graduating, Uber started to be a thing, and then it was super expensive. So there were very few.
Well, you were like an hour and a half from the city. It isn't like it's not close.
And somehow I was able to put all my classes to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I would leave
Okay.
Friday, come back Monday, and I
Yeah.
was working in the city. So I worked full time and studied full time. And it was the travel of that hour and a half on the train that you're talking about.
Okay, you just
So I would
trained.
just stay in the city, work. I extended my my internship with Jean-Georges. Then
Cool.
I worked Le Bernardin, and then Le Bernardin was full time, and then Dominic Ansel
While you were
was
in
also-
school, both of
no,
those?
No,
Oh, no,
that was
after?
after. Those were my after jobs. But yeah, I was working in Connecticut. Anything that the chefs would say, hey, there's this opportunity for this,
Yeah.
I would always
I'll
take
figure out
it.
how to get there.
Figure out how to get there.
Nice.
Yeah. And we all, bringing up the no transportation, it was living at the Culinary Institute, you're Food Network on TV, you're in a cooking class all day from 6 a.m. until 11 o'clock at night. You are just reading food, fine dining, French, cuisine, and this and that. So all of us would get in one car, and there was one McDonald's that was 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Everyone would just
So you're not from Poughkeepsie.
massive orders.
When we lived there, we were on a hill, and we own a house like the top of the hill where like my closest friend was like 2.5 miles down the road. So it isn't like, oh, I'm going to go to my friend's house.
No.
You're not going wherever you are.
That's where you're staying.
That's where you're stopped at. So my goodness, I can't even imagine being a grown up like.
There were no parties. There was like no parties. House parties were it. Like we're like the few kids that lived in
within 15 minutes.
Yeah, off campus. So we were all just getting cars, and then they have basements, which I didn't even know what that was.
Basements are a thing north of here. That's not a New York. That's just a north of Florida thing.
But when they really say like small town girl, when I left here. It was like eye-opening. I was like, what? We're going downstairs? Like, is like someone
like someone's gonna kill me?
Yeah, someone's gonna kill me. What is this
dungeon we're going to?
So then, like, we would get together, blah blah blah, and I was like, this is crazy.
Everybody's basement smells like bleach because that's where that's where the washer and dryer are.
Yeah.
Well, that's the charm of a basement.
That was my experience.
What do they call it? Is it a rumpus room? That they would call it? That when a finished basement? Yeah, that's like a term. Really? Or a very old term.
I'm a Floridian, so I don't know.
We don't know about the rumpus room. That's not what I'm thinking though. I remember my uncle was working on it. I forgot what they called it, but I think that's what whatever. Back to food. Rumpus rooms to food.
Yeah.
So when you were going to the CIA stuff, was it on the baking in this pastry world, or I mean, it's kind of everything, right? It's not like.
So I did the baking program. But within the baking program, we had to do a savory side. Like we had to learn to take chicken apart, fillet of fish, like take apart like beef. It was like it's very
well-roundedness.
Well-rounded. But I did specialize in baking and pastry, and then I also did my bachelor's after in business and marketing, specializing in hospitality as well.
Oh, nice. So it wasn't like you're not. Is there a bachelor or a majoring in pastry stuff? Is that? Yeah.
So it's like specializing in baking. My AA per se is in baking and pastry.
Nice.
And it was every 3 weeks there's a new class. And our program was about 2.5 years, and then I did the accelerated for the baking and pastry. I didn't get a college experience. Like it was work, school work, wake up, Brett's class, 2 a.m. It was just very hectic. I
think the college experience is bullshit. I don't think the college experience exists for people who are going to be successful.
100%.
The college experience is something
100%
from a movie. Like, oh, everybody's getting fucked up all the time and they're going to parties and they're this. It's like, and that was semester 1, and then they disappeared because they failed everything.
Yeah, and that's like, what I tell like my staff now. I'm like, what is your goal? Like, I get it, you guys want a social life, but what's after that social life? I get a lot of ages, right? Anywhere between 18 to even 28 years old, and we have a lot of people that are like,
I like how I have a lot of ages from 18 to 28.
Sorry.
Like, that's a very small spectrum.
I'm not that old either. I'm like 31, but like I'm like internally I'm between 60 and 80. But I just look at them and I'm like, what's next? Like, I love that you guys are here and you want to learn, but are you just doing the job because a lot of them are?
Yeah.
They last maybe a year, 6 months, whatever. And then they leave and then they think that, they know everything. And that's how culinary school was. I refused everywhere I applied. I actually never put that I was a CIA grad. Ever. Because one, they treated you like, this is the kid that thinks they know everything, because the CIA grads were equivalent to like very pompous, like, oh, I know everything, I'm a CIA grad, because we do have a lot of people that are very successful in the industry that are CIA grads.
But in like anything, you went through a ton of programs and you got like the top percentage of like, okay, you technically know how to do some things.
Newsflash, I didn't. Everything was learned
on site. Yeah.
On site. And that's where like now when I do get like the interns or when they are grads from Johnson & Wales, CIA, whatever other culinary school, and they're like, I'm looking for X amount of money and this. And I'm like, okay, here's your trial day. Bake me a cake, make me a custard, show me that you can dominate your area, and then we'll talk. Yeah. Fails the cake. Yeah. Fails the piping, which is what you'll be doing because that is no one knows how to pipe. Custard, which is your simple egg-based, don't curdle it type thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you expect this, you want me to give you this, and you're just giving me bare minimum.
Yeah.
So that's why I always tell my staff, like, what are you looking to better yourself in? What more do you want? And if you could literally pick at my brain all day, and if you are not taking advantage of me,
no, 100. Like,
what are you doing here? And they don't, like I was saying earlier.
We've joked. I think I've mentioned it multiple times. I think on the show so far, we're like, I don't think it could be easier to stand out, to get employed where you want to be employed, and to stand out with zero experience. And I really want to do it as a test with so my neighbor's daughter is about to graduate high school, and I'm like, you just want to test this out. Let's test this theory out. You just have to be confident about it, and it's the easiest pitch. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to say, look, go into XYZ place. You're like, I don't know anything about this. I'm going to learn really fast. I'm going to show up on time every day, and I might fuck up twice, but I will fix it, and you're never going to have to worry about me. I'm like, you got a job everywhere.
100%.
Everywhere.
100%.
And be like, look, you dictate what you want to pay me. We do an evaluation after 90 days, and if I'm meeting your expectations, let's have a discussion. Like, you're writing a check. Like, but you will crush it.
That's unfair, apparently.
What's unfair?
That you're putting in the work. That you have to prove yourself. That's
right. But that's why it's so easy to stand out. You have such an incredible level of incompetence, and not to complain about the ineptitudes of the younger generations and entitlements, but I
feel like there's still a few that are hungry. I recently made a post, and it was about not everyone that comes in through my doors has experience. Ironically enough, the ones that have excelled, past nurses, past accountants. Like people who, I guess, I don't know, have had jobs that really hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of people sometimes go into the industry thinking that because we're playing with food, because we are, I
mean,
you don't really take the accountability for it. And it's very weird. Because
I think they almost feel like the margin of error occurs as though it's higher, where it's probably not higher.
Like right now I have a girl she's in accounting, something in accounting. She's by far the one that has grasped everything so much quicker.
I imagine she's very meticulous.
I
feel like accounting, it's got to be,
And everything, it's like, chef, I finished, how can I learn? That to me is like music to my ears.
Yeah.
You want a new project? Let's do it. You know what? I've been thinking about doing this. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let's recipe test it.
So what were you doing when you were in school? What was your internship like? Was it really an internship, or was it just like a part-time job?
Oh, it was an internship.
Okay.
But I worked for Jean-Georges when Jean-Georges was 3 Michelin in the in Central Park in the Trump Tower, and it was by far very humbling. I knew a lot. I was top of my class.
You were like what, 20?
I was 19.
I knew a lot.
18 going on 19.
What is all this ego we're just talking about?
I did.
I knew things.
I knew things because when I was in culinary school, I did not care to make friends. I went there with a mission. So I was every chef's right hand. Nice. You can call me kiss ass. You can call me whatever you want. But I'm here for something, and that's to this tuition is not cheap.
No.
So if I'm here, I'm going to get the best out of it. So when I learned about Michelin, I remember I went to do a trial day at Danielle. I got that position, but something about JG that stood out to me was they had two different types of restaurant, which was their Michelin, which was JG. Right next to it, they had Nougatine, and that was like the more casual. But also I wanted to see how high volume was ran in hotels, because they did cater to the hotel for the high-end clients that they had. So I chose that to be able to be well-rounded. I knew a lot, but I was humbled because I knew nothing, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I knew a lot of the basics,
but
that was literally nothing. we would get ingredients, truffles. There was this guy with the black suitcase, which I'm like, oh, is this a drug dealer?
Suitcase.
Is this a drug dealer? What is this? Just truffles.
Just truffles.
Just truffles.
Did he have a handcuffed to his
All
wrist?
suited in black. They were bringing it out like it
the
was,
guy in Casino going into the money counting room?
Yeah. It was just like open, and I'm just like, what are those? Truffles, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Truffles. And it was just like very, very different. I never knew what Michelin was. And here I am, I'm like, 3 Michelin.
Yeah.
Walk into this restaurant. Oh, those tiny strawberries that are like $12 for like half a pound come from France. They're this tiny. I had to wash them. So you have to toss them in the water. You can't run water under them because they'll get destroyed. Jean-Georges walks by, tells my pastry chef, are you going to tell her that she's fucking up my strawberries? Or am I going to yell at her? Which one are you going to choose? I was like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But I mean,
well, yeah, that's one specific ingredient has to have I'm at the world of ingredients of all of those. So Jean-Georges, that's while you're in school.
That's why I did my internship. I did it 3 months, and then I stayed longer because I wanted to. And
yeah, if they're going to have you, yeah.
I did get paid. It was a paid internship, but it was like $8. What do you do at $8 in New York?
Nothing.
I lived off.
You hope to get home.
Wonder bread, hot dogs,
nice,
and eggs. That's what you can find in my fridge.
We'll have another show where you come in and you show us the clever creativity of Wonder Bread hot dogs and eggs.
To the point where my parents actually wanted me to come back for my internship to do, but.
Well, your mom's doing crazy cool stuff, yeah.
My mom, not with her, because we had to go somewhere else, as part of our program. And I came here, and she was just like, no, you have to come back, because Mama Bird wants me back. I'm only like 18, 19. What are you going to do in the city by yourself? But I was like, no, there's something for me here, blah, blah, blah. Nice. So I was like, I'm going to do it on my own.
Nice.
I was very proud of my apartment. But let me tell you, there were roaches. Like,
of course, yeah, you had an apartment, though.
By Nassau and Bed-Stuy in New York, which is not the most...
In Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. In Brooklyn. My parents came to see my apartment. The wooden floor is like...
My apartment, my like 300 square foot...
No. It was a railroad apartment that I shared with 3 other girls. So a railroad apartment is you walk through the first room, which is your kitchen. Then you have like a living room, and then you have another 2 rooms, and you have to walk through everything together.
Like they call it a shotgun in like New Orleans.
Yeah. So they walked there. The floor was like lifted. It was such an old apartment that the shower we had were those like lion paw tubs with the thing. Everything was falling apart, and my parents were crying. You worked so hard for you to come live here. And I was like,
you're just like, but I love it. This is
great. Look at my hot dog sandwich with my Wonder Bread.
This. I'm existing. I'm okay.
Me. So then they're like, okay. And then we're just like, in Tampa, you would have had like this, and
you're like taking the subway. Then they see like news of the subway craziness. It's like, the subway's fine, guys. It'll be okay.
I actually did see someone get stabbed.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Not great. Sorry.
I'm sure there's plenty of shit that's still happening at every time on the subway. I mean, every time I go up, there's
stories for endless stories. But I would say it was the best experience of my life. I was paid nothing on all the jobs, even as a junior Sue, like nothing. Where is $60K gonna get me at? It sounds great when you're like 20 years old, but
100%.
Where did it get me? Not very far.
No.
I was lucky to meet amazing chefs, amazing people. I had my mentor.
The resume of like how cool we get to do, and you don't necessarily consider that like in your early 20s of now in your 30s, and even before, you've had Sucre for 5 years, 7 years, 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, so crazy? Like you're like a veteran now. It's like I'm 31-year-old veteran.
31-year-old veteran.
But you're kind of considering it, but it's like now seeing the journey, and then what was the TV stuff? You had a couple of shows, right, that you were on.
Remember how you're saying going in confident, like you know what you're gonna do.
Is that how you showed up to the show?
That's how I showed up to my first show.
Damn.
That is exactly, and I won. We won.
And how old were you?
I was 19.
On the show, what show was it?
Cake Wars Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Nice.
Scary. My mom was like, you should just try it, because they originally called it her. My mom hates TV. I'm like trying to get her on my social media. She like hates it. So do I. But, you know, we're here.
And you're doing great now.
We're doing great.
Yeah.
But she's like, you should just try it, blah, 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 blah. And at the time, I was 19, going on 20, actually, now that I remember.
Going on 20.
Yeah.
I like how you're like elevating the age of going on 20. I was almost 20.
And that's where I met my mentor, Chef Thomas from Bernardin. He constantly comes here also to visit, you know, me in the shop. But he was like, okay, well, you know, if you're gonna do this, you gotta make sure if you make it all the way, which I was gonna be shooting for 3.5 weeks. He's like, I have to have enough chocolate boxes. You have to train the staff. You have to do all this stuff. I made over 350 chocolate boxes because we would fill those chocolate boxes with mousse.
This isn't for the show. This is for where you're working.
I wasn't allowed to leave.
Yeah,
that's what my responsibility
everything.
was because I wanted that position still when I came back. But, you know, if I came back in a week, I lost, you know, I'm just the head of production. But he told me, he's like, well, if you're doing this, are you sure? Like, do you have experience? Well, I was like, yeah, I've never sculpted a cake, but I assume it's very similar to like Play-Doh or whatever. I do sugar flowers.
It's just like Play-Doh. I got this.
And I was like, in the cakes, and you know, I've seen my mom do it. She forgot to do one cake one time, and she's like, Brenda, I'm in Peru. Like, I was like, man. So that was the first time I ever had to do cake by myself. And then I went to the show, and I'm like, you want me to sculpt who? Santa Claus? Okay, well, let's see what's going on. We did great.
Nice.
We won the whole show.
And sculpt, I mean, there's the amazing things that you do now. I can't even, it's...
Well, now I can sculpt, like, is it
But
cake?
I wouldn't even think about, like, saying, like, she can do is a cake. I mean, I think that's just its own artistic form of, you know, clay working almost. Whatever, it's not, whatever it is. But yeah, like...
Well, in the pastry world, there's, you know, people who do bread, but then there's people who do viennoiserie, which are all the laminated doughs. Then you have the cake artists, then you have the chocolatiers, then you have a pastry
I've seen
chef.
Carlo's Bakery.
I'm all of them. I'm a one-stop shop.
That's
whatever you
incredible.
need. I can even find you people.
And your stuff is remarkable. I mean, you are one of, I think, the only spots that I send people to. I'm like, look, just go there and get whatever is on special or whatever is new, or who cares? I don't care what you get. You're going to be thrilled because you've set a different bar than I think any other place that we've been to. So.
I think that was my mission with Tampa. I feel like Tampa is a canvas, and it's our jobs to paint it every color we want. And I wish there were, you know, more of the younger chefs hungry to want that as well. And I see it here and there, but I literally tell them, I was like, I'm here. I've been here 7 years. I have so many ideas still, but I'm, you know, releasing little by little.
So was it from Le Bernardin to opening up shop?
No, like, I went to Le Bernardin, and then I strategically, this all goes back to culinary school.
Okay.
We had to do a whole program on building a business. We started with our AA. My original bakery was Temptations. Then I don't want to say manipulated, but kind of maneuvered. I'm like, no one wanted to work on the projects alone. So I was like, hey, so I have this idea of this bakery. And we did the whole business plan, everything. By the time I came to Tampa, you know, I already had my business plan ready to go. I just had to adjust it to the demographics and psychographics of here. Yeah. But it was like
Temptations was up there or down
Temptations was my college project that I followed through all the way through to now. And then this is where my ADHD hits, and I forgot where we're going.
What was before here?
Oh.
So.
Strategically, everywhere I've worked has been, that's strong.
Yeah, it's just straight tequila.
Everywhere I've worked has been strategic, like I said. Le Bernardin is where I refined everything to the max.
Yeah.
Jean-Georges was where I learned and understood what fine dining was. And Dominique Enzel was how to build an empire.
Was Dominique after Le Bernardin?
Yeah.
Nice.
How to build an empire. That man literally built something from nothing, from a hole in a wall. And
the only thing I actually know from when you say his name, I just think of
the cronut.
Yeah, the cronut. Where, look, I mean, that's his viral thing. That's the staple thing. That's what is that signature kind of deal that just goes viral and gets you on the map.
Right.
So
it's the one thing, but put aside all his food. how everything is ran was a machine. And that's all I cared about learning there. And this is why I always say be a sponge. It's so important to be a sponge. You will learn. I learned from my plumber. Like, you learn everything. You just have to absorb all the time. And the only reason I would say this bakery is possible is because thank the gods for me winning 3 shows to save money.
What were the other shows? All right, we talked about one. I thought it was a big deal, and then I went on and I won. And then what were the other ones?
5 shows.
Oh my gosh.
Won 3. I did Cake Wars Christmas, Halloween Wars, Halloween Baking Championships, Baking Bingo, and I did another Cake Wars, but 2 of them were pilots, so they didn't air, but I still won.
Nice.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
But that was, what made me save money for the bakery, and, my parents invested in it too, so that, allowed me to have some flexibility, and everything's just been a learning experience. And I got hit by COVID, so wasn't able to open at all. I was supposed to open March of...
Well, COVID, just 7 years ago was before COVID.
Right when COVID happened.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a long
19,
yeah. I feel like it was so like recent, but also so...
I know.
It's like that time.
The hurricanes have been 2 years. 2 years. Isn't that crazy?
Not quite. 18 months. I remember the hurricanes.
Still recovering.
Yeah.
Still recovering. But, no income I still had to pay the staff to keep them. Yeah. So COVID hit. I didn't open until July. And then I opened in July. My first day I made $94. I was like, oh my God. This is not going to work. It was very scary. I was like, this is probably the worst decision I ever made in my life. Second day, I made 84. And then it started to pick up.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
It's the scariest thing, though.
Well, you were 25. So, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. And I fucked up. Mom.
Yeah. And then what did she say?
She was like, well, you got to figure it out.
You got to figure it out.
You got to sell tamales, tacos, whatever you have to do to make this freaking work. So if it ain't croissants, if it's not pastries, figure it out.
So what was one of the tipping point moments that happened where, like, you were doing your $100 days, and then I'm certain there was, like, we were doing $100 a day, and then we did $5,000 a day or something crazy. Like, how long before...
Barbie? Is that where you're hinting at?
I'm not hinting.
Barbie was very dramatic.
Barbie was relatively recently. You were doing
Barbie
bigger
was like
stuff before that.
4.5, 5 years ago. Isn't that crazy?
That wasn't the first.
No, I guess popped off. You were one of the main people to come to my shop and check me out, which I didn't want any like influencers, Instagram people at all at my shop. People. But that you came and tried as a customer, which puts you on a whole different level. And that's what I tell everyone. Like, if you want to support a small business and really reach out, like, and do stuff like that, you have to not invest a lot.
Well, yeah, but you can't hit people up for free shit.
Exactly. And then that kind of ruined a little bit of my vision.
Of course.
You were one of the first people that came that is part of the reason, like, we blew up.
But you had stuff even before I did. Like, I remember you were like, all right, we need to do something because we have to know when we're going to post this because we're going to have a line around the corner. So, like, you had some of those little pops and those experiences.
It was, I think when people started to understand, we had a lot of people that were from Chicago and New York that were our main customers, and they were seeking for city-style bakery shops. So once word came out, we became very popular with those things. But it was a learning curve. We had to like educate everyone.
Well, yeah, nobody. I mean, the amazing part about what you do is that no one else is doing it. The hardest part is educating the consumers that no one else is doing this level
the ingredients as well, which was a big difference as well.
And of course, I mean, I you did the, I don't know if you did the post on your page, whatever it was a few weeks ago or something, we were just like, oh, this is the most amazing thing ever. And then they see the price and you're just like, well, this is how much the butter costs for this. And, that's partially why we also wanted to do this kind of a show of, like, people will be like, this is amazing. It's just like, okay, well, you can go to, and like Lynn and I from Bamboozle talk about this often. She's like, you can come here and we can do like a bougie version of all of these things, but then you're gonna be like, all right, I don't want to spend $40 on pho.
I will.
Or whatever it is. You don't want to spend $50 on curry. She's like, we can use the breaking it down and the freshness and all of these things, but you don't want to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that
the labor
balancing
too.
act. Well, yeah, labor is tremendous, but I think you've not, I don't want to say broken the mold on it. You've just been like, okay, we are going to do this only with the best ingredients, and we're not going to compromise. But I think it just takes somebody putting their foot down and leaning into it. I think the lack of commitment that places will have, we're like, ugh,
I will not compromise.
It's not going to work.
I do believe the customer is always right out of respect, but I don't believe the customer is always
That's
right.
fucking nonsense. I do believe the customer is right, but the customer doesn't know shit.
Brenda's
like,
right.
That's not it at all.
I think it's
like,
so
the
important.
customer is not always right.
It is very hard when you own a business. Like, where do you meet numbers and where do you meet, being different and stuff like that. But for me, that's part of the reason I haven't gotten partners. I've had many of offers. I've done all those things, but it's like, I'm making good money for me, and I would love to expand, and don't get me wrong, that's a future plan. But like with an investor, you're looking at a lot of return that they want. Your pistachio latte has Valrhona white chocolate in it. And versus, if I were to use
It's not the Mr. Tampa Bay. It's not even, no, it's the lavender latte that I like. But it is. It doesn't have the Mr. Tampa Bay signature.
But it does have fresh lavender in it too. So, there's a process that goes with everything. And it's like, this is how we stand out. And I refuse to cut corners on that. It just breaks my heart.
But you say that as though it's not I see that as a great thing and an amazing thing, because I mean, people will, can you come do this promo for us, blah, 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 or can you promote this, 10% off, 20% off. It's like, this isn't necessarily universal. It's like, I can't sell discounts. No one cares about saving $2 when they're going to go do these types of things. Yep. They care about the quality and the uniqueness of the experience that they're going to have. Like, I have to go tomorrow, we're going to go do this guy's got like a foot-long lobster roll. It's like, bro, I don't care how much this is. People are going to go
because it's a foot-long lobster roll.
Foot-long lobster roll.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. They're going to show up and then they're going to eat it and they're going to bitch about it. They're like, I don't know how much it is, $50. They're going to be like, I can't believe this is $50. Like, what's a foot-long lobster roll? Like, it's a lobster, guys. I mean, it's what it is. Yeah. And you're in the lobster category of stuff where I forgot who we were talking to. They're like, we can't just necessarily put caviar and truffle on everything.
I actually made a truffle dessert, but it's too expensive for me to sell it. I mean, I might do it as a drop, but
Why do you say it's too expensive for you to sell?
Because it would have
your customer base will spend the money. You're not going to necessarily, it's not going to be your number one seller.
Truffle. Yeah, it's a small, it legitimately looks like a truffle, like the truffle.
Oh, and you have to get little black suitcase thing and that's how you sell that.
Just sell it. That's a good idea. That's actually a really good idea.
That's like, I was there the other week and I kept coming up to you with headlines. You're just like, are you just thinking about this?
Do you ever sleep like all the time?
It's like my brain's just headlines and how do we package this?
It was for the
how do we
April
sell
Fool's
this
thing.
I'm sorry that the Barbie thing didn't do as well as we thought it would. It was the joke. Barbie's not coming back.
People comment, they're like, is it really going on the menu? And I'm like, it's never coming back on the menu. I'm sorry.
You should have had Joe AI Barbie coming in or something. That would have been hilarious.
That was probably one of the, that's where I also learned a lot about my business. Like I mentioned before, we had lions around the corner. We had everything. It was great and everything, but that's where the people that understood what my brand was and people that didn't understand.
I just wanted hype.
Yeah.
But I think the difference. The thing that you had told me about that, and this kind of like the marketing plug component for the understanding of it, is you did the same menu items for Mother's Day without Barbie branding, and they didn't
sell.
They didn't flop, but
same thing. We sold a lot.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like.
It wasn't like, oh my God, it's Barbie.
Oh my God, it's Barbie.
Like, it's pink. It's for Mother's Day. Like,
it's just for my mother. It's not Barbie though.
It's not Barbie themed. Mom's not gonna care about this.
Yeah.
It was like, so I have the Pursuing Awesomeness hats, and we did them in pink, and I thought that they were gonna be a little bit more muted, but they're like
hot pink. I saw you give it to one of my customers.
So when people say hello, I give them, if it's female, I give them like, do you want the pink one or the black one? And when I was in Dunedin, these two women that were in like their middle 70s, they saw me wearing my hat. She's like, oh, I love your hat. And I was like, okay, hold on a second. I go to the car and I bring them back, and I had the hot pink ones, and she's just like, oh my God, this is made for me. We love Barbie. No. This is my hat. And she's like, I'm going to Japan next week. This is what I'm wearing. I was like, that's so fantastic. But yes, the Barbie pink is... it's
a selling point. You'll
it's
see
headlines.
It again today.
It's headlines.
We do our cake.
We're going to do our cake. So with that, let's go over and we're going to do the cake. And this will be my live job interview.
Yeah.
This is it.
We'll see. It's your trial day.
Boom. Here we go.
Flan.
Getting some of the flan. Oh, man. And the buttercream. A little bit more. Oop. Fumble. Ugh. How many iterations of things, like when you're testing stuff out, do you tend to have to go through to be like, okay, this is it?
I'm perfect.
Oh, check. Check. Much like my cake piping.
I would have to say like at least 2 to 3 times until I perfect it. This one, I rolled out this week because I just want to see how it went with the customers.
Yeah.
So I'm adding more flan. So this is with more flan.
Try this some of the flan. So we're joking about the 401k thing, but it's not actually a joke. Like part of your culture, part of the things that you're doing is supporting the staff and doing those things. Do you have so what we've started doing a lot of like the vendors that we have for the show. I mean, Local Foods, awesome supporter. We didn't have any meats or seafood today, so they didn't support any of our cake, but they still support the show. But then our merchant service companies and Appliance Plug with all of the sets and stuff. I mean, do you work with different vendors who are supportive in different ways? Like if you're buying a pallet of butter.
In a perfect world, that would be great.
Now they suck?
Yeah.
That stinks.
I know. The more expensive the ingredient is, the more like...
They don't care?
They don't.
That's it. Well, that's...
To be fair, though, Valrhona has taken very good care of me, which is the chocolate company. Anytime I needed something or if I want to try one of their new products, they're always sending it over. So nice. They've definitely taken care of it. And I work with Chef's Warehouse, which makes everything happen for me. Like, Damn. Is it discounted? Absolutely not. But do they go above and beyond to make me happy with the ingredients I'm looking for or something like that? Absolutely.
So as we wrap up, who was it? Cisco bought
Restaurant Depot.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any thoughts on that?
It's a little heartbreaking, I guess, because it's like a monopolizing the food industry, and our ingredients are already excessively expensive. And I go through Chef's Warehouse, which is supposed to be high-end ingredients, but for new companies, new businesses that are starting. Like you have to start somewhere, and Restaurant Depot's it. And if you monopolize all the prices and stuff, you're kind of like, okay, where's this going?
Yeah.
And then I am not a fan of, everyone's heard a lot of things about Cisco. It's very mass produced, all not best ingredients and stuff like that. And for me, it's like, I'm a diehard Chef's Warehouse.
Yeah. Well, no, you're a different level of ingredients types of things. So
yeah, for new business owners, it's going to be a little tougher.
Be rougher.
A little bit rougher.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Sauced and Uncensored. As you can see, almost any idiot can pipe a cake.
But it's great. You're
thank
hiring.
You. Check. This is fantastic.
Unlimited lavender lattes.
Oh, man.
You also get free drinks.
What do you mean free drinks?
As an employee.
Oh, all right. So I also I want a sandwich named after me. That's what I want.
Let's make one up.
Yes, because your croissant sandwich is already delicious. So I got to figure out some way that we got to zhuzh something up.
I'm down.
And Mr. Tampa Bay it.
Mr. Tampa Bay sandwich.
Keep tuning in to Sauced and Uncensored. Sucre Table. I don't even know if we mentioned it, but Sucre Table is her spot.
Girl who bakes.
Check out all links in the post, text, the bios, all the things. Thank you for tuning in. Have a delicious day. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've got our next episode right here. If you have any questions, just leave us a comment and don't forget to subscribe.